questions, and that's one of the things that I always ask, especially when I'm going after a new listing, is I always ask, what is most important to you from your listing agent? Most of them are going to say the same thing as communication. I just want to be in the loop on where everything's going. Or then a lot of other ones will be like, my agent never held one single open house open, you know, or they never did one broker open house. My realtor before did an open house and a broker open house and it sold the same weekend. So they have these past occurrences that they think were the reason why their house sold last. They have no idea why it sold or how it sold, where the market was, but in their mind, they had an idea that their past realtor did this for them, so you should be doing this as a realtor. So, and then use debate strategies. You know, you'll need 10 persuasive arguments that you can deliver in an authentic voice. So we talk about it all the time, guys. So if you know, like, there's objections that you've heard before, just like your objections that you're getting from the people that are calling, it's the same type of principle. You need to have 10 of your best, like, arguments, your go-tos. Like, these are my go-tos, this is what I know. The 10.7 marketing strategies, that's how I separate myself. I'm part of FIAPSI. I'm the Federation of International Real Estate. No one's going to give better marketing exposure because I can list it locally, nationally, internationally, you know, everything else. Have your go-tos. You know, I'm part of the number 6 team in all of Houston right now. We're on track to probably be within the top 5 this year. That which means that we are better than 1% of all realtors out there. You know, how do you stack up? You know, you got to have. I was told you have to have 10 of your best persuasive arguments down, ironclad, so it sounds authentic. You know, if you're fumbling around with it, it's not going to sound authentic. It's going to sound like it's kind of made up or pulled out of your, you know what. But when you actually have it down and you can snap and it's authentic, it comes from heart. This is what we do. This is what I do every day. These are my rankings. This is why no one else beats us. This is my stamp of approval. This is what I can guarantee. You can have that, guys. Your close at the very end goes very similar. So the close is pretty easy, guys. Sellers forget 50% of your presentation within 1 hour of delivering the message, so they've never had more information than they currently have right after the presentation. So if you think that they need to think about it, the only thing they're going to be thinking about is they're going to be forgetting everything that you told them. So that's why the follow-up is even more important, because basically they lose an additional 10% every single day. So you do the math. You don't follow up with them 5 days. They might not even remember your name. Who are you again? Which one were you? You know, I was a bald-headed guy. Oh yeah, we loved everything, but you know, we settled with Sally. Sally's the neighborhood specialist. She lives in our neighborhood. We feel comfortable with her. It's probably because she went back the next day, knocked on the door, gave them a pie. They're like, oh, we feel bad. Here, let's sign it for her. You know, that was her close. So you know, you need to basically, when you have them in front, you've gone through your listing presentation, you've talked to them, you've built rapport, you've added value, everything else, to close. And I guarantee you, in my first 2 years in real estate, I did not know how to close. I was like, man, I crushed it. I'll follow up with you tomorrow. I absolutely crushed it. And then I follow up and it was like crickets, you know. And I knew that I crushed them. And they were like, great job, young man, you know, everything else, great presentation, great job. And we just didn't close. And listening to this basically presentation, I realized, like, wow, that was me in the first several years of my career. And then I went on so many appointments, crushed it so many times, and never got the listings that it almost became like sour, you know, on how it was. I was like, man, what am I not doing right? And the close. So the question is that the couple different ones down here that they talk about is there any reason that you wouldn't want to move forward with the information that I provided you today? So that one's key. Is there any reason that you wouldn't want to move forward with the information I provided you today? That's very just soft, hey, and then that's, I mean, if they say, no, all your information is great, fantastic, pull out the closing docs and give them a sign right then and there. And if they say, well, hold on a minute, we still need, okay, well then you explain it to them. Okay, well, you know, what other questions do you have because of the information that I provided you? You're never going to have more information than you have today. Explain it to them. There's never, no time, not tomorrow, not tonight. There's never going to be a better time that you have received all the information that I provided you today. And just put it back on them. Another thing is too that you can always ask, like your close, to say, I'm deeply networked. How can I provide value to you? That's another one too. Because when they're asking different things or do you do this, you always say like, I'm deeply networked, which means that people hire me because of my database, my network, what I built, our rapport. The same thing that you guys have to say is our team is deeply networked. We're the number 6 team. Our broker, basically our leaders have been in the business 16 years. There's not a better home warranty company. There's not a better title company. There's not a better inspector. We call these people, they move mountains for us because of the business that we provide them. We close just on our team over 257 transactions. When we call our inspectors, when we call our home warranty, our title companies, they move stuff for us. They make sure, and that's because we're deeply networked. So how can I provide value to you? You know, what do you need value in? And so guys, it's all about people. So dig into people. Provide closing gifts. Make sure you're following up. Invest into people, and those people will invest into you. So make sure that you have a closing gift that basically says something about you, basically about going. We don't really go to that many closings anymore, that we're gonna have to kind of change that, but a closing gift, guys, goes a long way, a long, long way. So that's pretty much basically this, guys. And just remember, you screw up anywhere within this process, you have a 5% chance of closing that transaction. If you crush it on all 3 of these right here, 95% chance that you're gonna close that transaction, and if you bring a closing gift, about another 90% chance that you're going to actually get a referral out of that situation. And if you do these, master these right here, it will definitely change. And I can email you guys basically this right here. I can scan it, and it has everything that I basically talked about. So real quick, guys, I want to talk about basically our scoreboard. And this basically is this is for us, but this is also for you. It's going to be, the analogy that I love is the one that Brian Gubernick always talks about. He said, what if you were at a basketball game and basically the scoreboard went blank? What would happen? I mean, the crowd would know what to yell for. After about 5 minutes, no one would know what the hell the score was. The game would lose all excitement. You know, you really wouldn't, I'd get up and leave. I have no idea what the score is, don't know which tier, you know, I can tell what's going on. But after a while, I can't keep score that quickly. I don't know who's winning, who's losing. Don't know what, the game just wouldn't be enjoyable for me. And I think that in our life, it's kind of the same way. You know, we need a scoreboard to let us know where we stand. You know, are we winning? Are we losing? What are we doing? So this is kind of your daily scoreboard. I made a mistake because I was going to send this to you guys last night. I didn't send it. I'll send it to the people that showed up today with our virtual assistant. And I think our virtual assistant basically says it all. She has no real estate license. She's in Pakistan or India, somewhere overseas, and she made 500 phone calls yesterday. 500 phone calls. She only talked to like 40 or something people, and she set 3 appointments. So like, she's at a disadvantage because she has not any of the same leads that we have. She basically, we upload like divorce leads and distress leads and stuff like that. She doesn't have the subdivision. She doesn't have a lot of the other stuff in there. So she's scraping old leads that she has called basically, like these were divorce leads from like a month ago. So she called them and basically were old divorce leads and converted 3 appointments yesterday. She does this every 2 days. So I'll show you basically the reports that she gives us, and I'll send it out so you guys can see that it is absolutely a numbers game. I mean, she's calling basically with the same sales pitch that I teach you guys. You know, would you want to look at a cash offer? One of those things. And these are more listing appointments, they are investor deals. But at least, you know, that right there is her scoreboard. She sends it every single day. I'm able to look at it. I know how many phone calls she makes, how many people she got in contact with, and basically how many conversions. And it's just a simple numbers game. But I think that will give you guys a little bit of insight on basically what your thresholds are going to have to be able to hit your target numbers, to where you can hit your 3 to 4 appointments per week, to where you guys are closing 1 to 2 transactions, 1 to 2 buyer closings every single week, where you guys are getting the 3 to 4 closings out of your sync, and you're not having to spend basically 6 hours on the dialer. So I think just showing you guys that so you can see how many she contacted, how many had no answer, how many told her to go F off, just so you can see basically what she does on a daily basis to get her conversions. Basically, this was another one on Brian Gubernick's. It was basically like triple your focus on lead conversion to appointments. So basically, triple your focus on lead conversion to appointments. Again, sit down with your plans and make strategic decisions right now and execute quickly. The battle will be truly motivated buyers and sellers, and there will be a fight for them that win the fight. Contact leads nurtures, nurtures lead to appointments, appointments lead to agreements, and leads to closings and profit. Increase your skill set through role-playing, script practice, and record your game film. So guys, like I said, you might want to take time. I mean, just like any other athlete, just like anybody else, they watch game film. You know, they look and see, and they watch themselves and see how they can improve. It's very similar. I mean, one day you guys should just take time basically recording each other for 10, 20 minutes, and so then send them that over, and you guys watch yourself. Listen to what you're telling these people, because once you listen to yourself telling these people, you're like, holy crap, I should have said this, I should have said that. And it's just like anything else, watching your game film, being in practice, or practice script training with each other, something like that, before you will increase y'all's conversion rate. And know your numbers, guys. What is your conversion percentage today, and what does it need to be? So the same thing with basically going back to the scoreboard. Knowing kind of where you stand, are you winning, are you losing? Make sure that you record yourself, because guys, we're in sales. We're gonna have to make sales calls. It's just kind of what it is that we have to do. I mean, that just is what it is. Anybody have any questions about anything? This, Michael. We're good? All right, that's all I got today. Awesome, thank you. Get stopped.